Hi, Cory. Thanks so much for joining me today to talk a bit about yourself and your career in IT asset management. So, to start, how long have you been with Ray Allen and what is your current role?
Yeah, so I've been with Ray Allen just under 6 years. I joined in April of 2016. Had many roles at Ray Allen, but my current role today is the director of sales.
Awesome. So, how did you begin your career and how did you become interested in this field?
Yeah, so a little bit of backstory about myself and how I began is I started my career in hospitality with a degree out of Colorado State University, and I was working for Vail Resorts at the time. So a little bit of a ski bum living up in the mountains, and determined I wanted a little bit of a change and explore different career opportunities. And at the time, my dad was in sales for a Cisco resale partner, which kind of drove my interest in this field and wanting to kind of explore what it had to offer. From there, I was lucky enough to actually land a job with a company called ServiceSource doing maintenance renewal quoting on behalf of a company called Progress Software. So I was doing all of the quoting for the sales reps, building all of the quotes to ensure that they could go out and resale those renewals. After that, I was moved around within ServiceSource. Within my about 6 years at ServiceSource, I moved into a senior sales role. I worked maintenance renewals on behalf of HP Software, AT&T, and Juniper at the time. And from there, that's when I met Pete Calderero and Dan Keogh when I was selling ALMI as a value add onto AT&T renewals, and began to network with them and kept in touch over the years, and eventually moved into a customer success manager role here at Ray Allen, and worked up through management of customer success into director, and then most recently moved over into director of partner services, overseeing all of our maintenance renewals here at Ray Allen. And now my most recent role into director of sales, strategically overseeing some of our largest VARs and SPs.
Wow, that's amazing. What a journey. Going from, you said, as a ski bum kind of situation over
Exactly.
all the way up to director and probably a career you never even considered when you first started, right, in hospitality. So speaking of your day today, what are your main responsibilities in your current role, and what is a typical day or week, whatever you'd like for you?
Yeah, so my current responsibilities, I'm strategic sales owner for some of the largest VARs and SPs that we at Ray Allen have as customers today. And in those responsibilities, I'm mainly responsible for all revenue retention and expansion into those VARs and SPs. I would say a typical day and or week really consists of nurturing and building customer relationships, identifying and executing on strategic directions for revenue growth here at Ray Allen, as well as for our VARs and SPs to help them identify where there's potential additional revenue growth opportunities, as well as additional cost savings, whether it be within operational efficiencies and or reduction of COGS. I also, in my day-to-day, help manage escalations from a top level, as well as delivering presentations around the value out of our current products and service offerings.
Wow. So you say escalations, and I know that uh, takes a lot of emotional intelligence, let's say, and a lot of management skills there. So, what for your role? What personality traits do you deem essential for success?
Yeah, totally. So I think first and foremost, you've got to be outgoing, right? You've got to be willing to put yourself out there, build those relationships and nurture those relationships. Beyond that, though, you also have to have the patience and understanding to handle some of the long sales cycles, but then also have that thought leadership, right, to help manage through some of those escalations and ensure that the clients are receiving the level of service that they deserve, right, with all of the money that they're spending with Ray Allen. Making sure that our delivery teams, as well as our sales support teams, marketing teams, are meeting their expectations.
Yeah, that makes sense. It also makes more sense to me now as well how you started out in hospitality. That has so much to do with relationship building and working on those skills too. And then you're here doing what you do, and you're so good at it. There's that thread throughout that. So that's so neat.
Totally. And I think that's what's lent itself well to the current role, right? Is that
Mhm.
past background and experience in hospitality getting my degree through that industry has really lent itself well to connecting with people.
Outside of work, kind of zooming out, seeing the holistic picture, what are some hobbies that you are involved in to keep that healthy work-life balance?
Yeah, one of my all-time favorite hobbies is snowboarding. I live here in Colorado, live in Denver, go up to the mountains almost every weekend. But I also really enjoy golfing, hiking, and traveling the world. So I would say an overarching theme behind all of those is really the scenery, enjoying the outdoors, and experiencing the unknown as much as possible. That really interests me in any of the hobbies or work-life balance. And what helps me kind of keep that work-life balance is giving myself the opportunity to go do something, try something, or see something that I've never done before.
Yeah. Oh, that's great. I love that. Such a healthy way to look at it and such a good tactic for keeping that balance as well. Well, thank you so much for taking the time to talk with me today, Cory. This is great.
Yeah, thanks, Gwen. I appreciate the opportunity.